Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Factorio. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day because here at my open-air factory, well, it's been a while since I've been here, both in terms of when the last episode was and in terms of when I last played this. I took a break from Factorio. I know the series had just started, but I took a break from Factorio because I wanted to try and get a little bit better. I don't know if I've necessarily done that, but today I'm going to try and just make my setup a little bit better. I'm also going to immediately jump in and start getting advanced material processing because I think that's going to be a good idea. But I do want to try and just make this all a bit better, because we don't have enough green science going on for my liking, and this production that we have here is just not good enough either. So I want to get more iron production on the go. I want to get more science production on the go. But what I'm also going to do is pick up both of these steam engines here because they're not really in good spots. I'll pick up the pipes as well, and I'm going to reposition those. I'm going to put one there, if I can, which I think I can do. I'm going to delete this as well and put another steam engine just there. And then I do, of course, need to go and get some pipes, which we can do in a matter of seconds. And then we bring the pipes around like this. Now, that obviously wasn't enough of them, so we'll get a bunch more of them. But we bring the pipes over like so, and that's going to get that steam engine running, which is good. Now, we can go ahead and connect it up like that, and now it's working beautifully. This one over here is going to need similar treatment, so we're going to want to get that in there. We're going to want to get ourselves a bunch of iron plates, so we can go ahead and get that up and running. Iron plates are all over here at the moment. So let's grab a bunch of those so we can make a bunch of pipes. There we go. Make about 10 of them. Should be more than enough. And if we just head over here, we can bring the pipes around like this, and that's going to make the steam engines work a little bit better. Well, not a little bit better, but they're in a better spot for my liking. Now, the next thing I'd like to do is go ahead and tear apart a lot of what we have around here, because I just don't think it's in the best location. So I want to tear a lot of this apart. I want to get rid of the splitters that we have in here. I want to get rid of the conveyors and the inserters and all of the chests that we have as well. Because basically, I want to get the iron production and the copper production to go nuts. I want to fully saturate all of the belts that we have around here. I also want to tear this all apart and make it better as well. But I, for the meantime, want to go in and just tear all of these power cables out of that area anyway, and we'll go ahead and just lay out a whole massive row of conveyors all down to about there, and similar story going up this way. We'll get more conveyors made as well, just like that. We're also going to need to clear some of these out, which is totally fine by me. Then those go in to that point. So that's going to give us room for a lot of iron production. Coal production is probably going to need to be a bit better as well, but we will get that in due time. I also realize if I really wanted to, I could put both of the different types of plate there onto one conveyor and have some filter inserters down at the bottom, which would carry them off of that one conveyor, but I don't think that's going to be a particularly good idea. So let's go ahead and just bring this down a little bit further to about there, and I want to make myself a whole bunch of the stone furnaces. Now, the thing is, I am going to need to upgrade these eventually. That is a thing that's going to need to be done, but for the time being, let's just go ahead and throw a whole bunch of them in here, as many as I can possibly get. So down to about there, and from there, the whole way up as well to that point. So that's going to be fine. That's going to give us some crazy amounts of iron and copper plate production, which is what I want, because iron is incredibly, incredibly useful. So let's go in here and get ourselves... we could go for fast inserters, but I think we're probably just going to go for the standard old regular inserter right there. So I do need to get myself some iron plates. Fortunately, there's a lot of them lying around, so let's just grab all of those and make myself as many inserters as I can possibly get right there. I will also go ahead and grab even more of what's on display here. And hopefully that's going to be enough. I do reckon that'll probably be okay in terms of the number of inserters that we're going to have. So let's get this set up. This is the output on this side, so we are going to want one there and there. We're going to want one there and there. Same with down here. Same with here. And the same with here. Then we want them on the other side and on this side as well. We're also going to want the coal and the iron to come the whole way down here. So we're going to need to get ourselves some of the conveyors just there. This is going to go into my inventory. These conveyors are going to come down like this, the whole way down to about there. Then a similar story on the other side as well. The conveyors need to come down to about that point. We're going to need more of them as well, so let's get those made. Let's get these inserters set up as well so we can get things working a little bit sooner as opposed to later. I am going to need to make sure that my consumption of all of the various plates that I'm making is good enough. Otherwise, we're going to have some serious tailbacks in production over here. I don't want this to be the tailback. I don't want this area to be the problem. I want the lines going to manufacturing to be the problem that we have. So let's make more of those inserters, which is going to need even more of the iron plates. So I don't want to grab copper plates. Just give me the iron ones like so. And get me a bunch of the inserters right there. Okay. So these are going to go like... No, that's the wrong way around, I think. It needs to go that way. Then we get a bunch of them. Just along here. Filtering everything out onto that inner conveyor belt. Then these ones here are going to go down all of this space. Then, of course, we're going to get everything powered up. Which we can start doing with the iron ones. So if we go and throw... I wish there was a better way to do power here. I know there is a better way to do power. I know I can do it with... a different power pole, but this one's going to have to do the job for the time being. So we'll get these all powered up. We'll get some of these poles in here as well. It's an absolute mess, but it's going to have to do the job, I'm afraid. If you're a little bit triggered, I guess, by the layout of my power poles, I don't blame you, but you are just going to have to deal with it, like I said. So let's go ahead and get some power into some of these spots as well. That's all going to be functioning at this point, which is beautiful news. We can get all of this set up as well. We can get this set up on this side too, which is going to be beautiful, beautiful stuff. And there we go. So we don't have enough copper coming in. We don't have enough iron coming in. Both of those things are going to need to be fixed. But that's not going to be too tricky to do because we can go into here and we can say that we want the electric mining drills. So let's grab ourselves even more iron plates. We are going to need them. So get me all of those, and that'll get me 4 mining drills. Not really enough. Definitely not enough of them, but we will make it work. Now, let me also go ahead here and start clearing out all of this, because this is a complete mess on this side as well. I want to just make this production a little bit neater, a little bit better, and a little bit easier to understand and to manage as well. So... we're going to want to go in and just tear apart all of this, which is going to take a little bit. And I know that we spent the entirety of the last episode working on all of this, but believe me, if I can make this work better, it's going to be totally worth it. And if I can make the production and all that stuff just even better, it's going to be worth it. And I'm hopeful, I'm not guaranteeing, but I'm hopeful that I can do some good stuff here. Because I want to go ahead and get all of the green circuit boards made a little bit more efficiently. I want to get more of them being made. I want the copper cables being made and automated and sent to different places. I just want to get everything sort of into its own production line as opposed to constantly making everything for each... Because this is all to assemble green science, right? But if we were to assemble something else that wasn't green science, we'd need to set up another production space for things like the green circuit boards. And I don't want to do that. What I want to do is have just one space where we're making the green circuit boards, and I want it so we're making so many of them that at any point we can just go, hey, let's just transfer a bunch of these, or let's just set up another line to take them over to another place. I don't necessarily want to dump them into chests permanently, but I'm going to do it to begin with until we get the later production lines done. I hope that makes sense. Basically what I'm getting at is I want production lines set up for a lot of the common things we're going to need, especially for green science and the future sciences as well. So yeah, hopefully that all makes sense. Hopefully you get what I'm going for, and hopefully you're not too annoyed that I have just torn all of this apart. Now let me go ahead and just get these conveyors out of here. Just like so. Red science is going to be fine for a while. I don't think I'm going to worry too much about that. We do have a disconnection in power along here, though, which is a little bit of a concern. But we'll go ahead and pick up all of the red science here, because we might as well. My inventory's full. Great. That's fine. We'll not worry too much about that. We'll grab that, grab that. We'll bring these conveyors along a little bit. We are going to need to make some stuff. Let's make some of those to clear out my inventory. Let's just get this cleared out a little bit. In fact, you know what? Let's start placing some of these down, I think. I think that's going to be a good idea. So let's get one of these just there. Let's get one there, and let's get one there. And we can get one there. Then I want to start placing them back to back like this, so we can get electricity up between them, which is going to be super, super important. So we're going to want one there, and we are going to want one there, although that's not actually going to connect, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. So we'll do that kind of thing. So that's all of those going to get power, which is beautiful news. We'll throw that there. We'll throw that there, and we'll use that as the bridge. So that's all powered. That's all going to be producing some iron, which is what I wanted to do. So that's all going to feed up to there. And I think this side is also just going to feed around like this, because it might as well. So feed over to there and feed up to that point. There we go. So that's all going to feed around. That's going to be a lot of iron feeding onto that line. Possibly enough, possibly not enough. We will absolutely find out. Let's just go ahead and continue tearing all this apart, just like so. Then we're going to need to go and do a similar job with the copper to what we've done with the iron, which is going to result in me having to tear out a lot of trees. Doesn't actually look like that's going to be enough iron. It really doesn't look like that's going to be enough iron, does it? Which is interesting. Like, that's really, really interesting that that's not actually going to be enough. Actually, no, I take that back. It looks like it might be. Yeah, I think that'll eventually be enough. Let's grab some iron plates from along here. And let's make a bunch of those, which should be totally fine. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be just about enough iron. Yeah, so that's fine. That's going to saturate that line, which is what I wanted to do. So that's going to be beautiful. Coal really shouldn't be much of a problem either. So let's head over and start dealing with the copper, which is just over to my left here. So copper, yeah, right there. We're going to need to tear down a lot of trees. We do currently have the option to make a steel axe, but we don't actually have any steel production going on. So we'll not worry too much about that. Let's go ahead and start tearing all of this out so we can get some really good copper production going. Now, what I could do, I could cheat slightly by putting some copper mines on that side, because technically they will work. They will mine a bit of copper, but not really that much, which is why I don't know that I want to do this, because eventually they'll run dry a lot quicker than the ones that are directly on the copper. But I think that's going to be good because it does get copper on both sides. So let's mine that out. Let's get rid of this tree. I can't put one there. I can put one down there, though, and I can put one there. And I do believe I can put one over there as well, if I get rid of that tree. So let's get rid of this tree. And we'll throw a copper mine just... Oh, no, we need to get rid of that one as well. So let's get a copper mine there. Oh, no, we need to get rid of that one as well. Good. Copper mine goes there. And I can't make any more of them, so that's going to be fine. Let's get some power into here then, because we're going to need power there. And we are also going to need power to go there. And then I'll put one of these in the middle. So that's all of those getting power, which is good. And they don't all have conveyor belts yet, but we can fix that. So there we go. That's going to be a bit more copper. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Honestly, I doubt that it's going to be enough, but it will do for the time being. Copper production is not the major thing that we need just yet. It will be. We absolutely will need to increase copper production, but it's not the major thing yet. Now, if we have a look at the map here, I don't think there's any enemies on here. I think they highlight themselves in red, so I think we're fine. We are going to need to worry about pollution, so we're going to need to get some turrets up and running eventually, but for the time being, I think we're okay. Now, let's see. We have a lot of iron plates being produced, which is good. But I want to get some gear production. So I'm going to get a another massive stretch of conveyors coming down here like this. I'm going to leave some room for iron to be produced again. But then what I want to do is I want to look into getting gears to be produced. I don't want to take all of the iron for it, but I want to look into gears getting produced. So I want to put an assembly machine there, and an assembly machine there, and another one there. Then I want to get some conveyors, and I want to put them on this side of the machine. And they're going to come down like this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get rid of all of that. And there is a way to do this. If I click on you and I do that, then if I like shift click, does that work? No, is it control click? There's a way to do this and I don't know what it is. There's a way you can like click across all of these and have the gears be the thing that they all make. I just don't know what it is. It doesn't seem to be alt. Yeah, it's not alt. I don't know what it is, but there is... Oh, that's how you do it. So you shift click it and then click those ones. That's fine. So those are all going to make gears. But what I want to do is I want to split here. So I want to get a splitter. I want to throw it there. And I want to bring some iron plates down like this. So that's going to be fine. Yeah, that'll totally work. Then what I could do if I really wanted to is actually filter the iron plates back onto that line, like the ones that don't get used get filtered back on there, but I don't think that's going to be, there's not going to be much point in doing that. So this is going to come down to there. And that's going to continue on, that's going to continue on. Then we want to get an inserter there, and there, and there. And then we want one that filters out onto there, there, and there. So that'll be fine. We're going to filter the gears out onto this line. Then what I want to do is I want to bring the gears around all of this. And I want to run them parallel to everything else that we have. So they're going to come down to here. And that's going to be fine. So we do need to run power to this, which is okay by me. So that has power. That's going to have a power line there. And that's going to have a power line there. So that's all going to have power from all of that, hopefully. So let's bring these power lines up to here and up to there. And that now has power, which means we should now be making gears, which we absolutely are. Now that's maybe not enough gear production, but it will be a start. So that's what I want to do. I also want to get a light done here, I think, just so I can see what's going on. So get a light there, and we don't really need another one. All right. So that's going to be gear production, and that's going to continue down this way. Next up, I want to look into possibly the copper cable production, but I also want to look into electronic circuits, which are made with iron plates and copper cable. So I think copper cable is going to be a good one. So copper cable production, I'm actually going to try and put opposite this. So copper cable production would go there, I think. Yeah, so copper cable production would go there. It would be a similar setup with the conveyors. So the conveyors would come down to there. Then they would start from there and come down like this. We can get rid of those ones that I misplaced. That's fine. We'll not worry too much about that. Then it would come over like this. And it would run parallel to everything else that we have going on. So that's totally fine. Then we need the inserters, which are going to go there, there, and there. And down there, there, and up there. Okay. Then, of course, we need the splitter to split off the copper plates, which is there. That's okay. So throw that into that spot. Copper plates start coming down here. And we need the power poles, which will go into that spot and into that spot. Then into that spot. And into that spot. So we can get this set up to make the cables. How was it we did this before? It wasn't... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. That's going to be making cables, not that. How do I undo that? There we go. So it's going to make that. Then if I control... Is it... What is it? Is it right? Is it just right? No, it's shift right click. Okay, so that's now all making cables. Which is good. So that's totally fine by me. That's all making stuff the way I want it to. So next up, we do need to be making some of the electronic circuits, because what I want to do is, for one, I want to get back to automating red science, which is copper plates and iron gear wheels. So red science will be the next one. And red science isn't too pricey. It's copper plates and it's iron gear wheels. So I do want to bring this back a little bit because I want to split this line off so we always have a supply of the iron gear wheels. So we'll do 1, we'll do 2, we'll do 3, and we'll do 4. But then we do need a splitter up here, which is a little bit too high up for my liking, but we can probably make it work. Let me get a splitter just into that spot there. And that's maybe going to work. That's maybe not. We're going to find out. So that's going to bring copper gear wheels down like this. Actually, you know what? No, it's not. Because that is too close to everything. Because we need to bring copper plates across. So delete that, we'll move it all down. The copper plates need to come across one way or other. So I think we're going to need to get a tunnel. Like this. And we'll go as far as we can, which is there. Then I want to bring this down. And I want to put a splitter into that spot. And a conveyor like that. Now what that's... Oh, now is that what I want to do? It's possibly what I want to do. Because I need to... I guess, have... Hold on, this might work. If I put a splitter there, and I have a tunnel there, which can apparently go quite far. We'll go like that. So that's going to tunnel under and come right there. We are then going to have this come along like that, which is perfect. That's going to go onto that track. That's perfect. So that works exactly how I wanted it to. Then I might bring this all closer together because I don't think it's necessary to have it that far apart. So this would go in that spot. And this would go in that spot, is what I'm thinking. I'll leave that gap there just in case we need power, but that puts both the things that we need for red science onto one track, which is absolutely beautiful. So red science is going to go into those tracks. We are going to have some regular inserters feed all of these guys. We could use a couple of fast inserters, actually, because there's a couple of different materials, but I think the regular inserters should be fine. Actually, they do need to be lower. So they need to be in that kind of spot and that kind of spot. Then bring the conveyors down like this. So that's going to give us all the materials that we need for this. And then we can go and we are actually out of conveyors, interestingly. So make me a bunch of those. Oh, no, we're not. I'm holding them. I'm a bit of an idiot sometimes, apparently. Bring this down to here. Bring that down to there. Bring that down to here. And bring that down to here. So that's all still flowing the way it should be. Let me just make sure I've done this right. It is... What is it for red science? Red science isn't... Yeah, so I've done that right. So it's the copper plates and the iron gear wheels. So red science is being made, or it will be getting made, and we are going to feed it out up that way, which is perfect. So let's turn these around like that, and that'll feed red science. Beautiful. Okay, so those are all going to be making red science. Those are all going to be needing power. So let's give them some power like that. Run a power line up like that. And those are all going to be working. So that's red science, which is not going to be getting produced, which is beautiful news. So the red science is going to need to come quite a distance, unless I move my research facility, which I probably will do, to be honest. This is looking like a pretty good spot for it. But thus far, we've got red science being produced. Now, we could try and make it on both sides or something, but I think this is probably fine. Now, what else do we need? We are going to need electronic circuits. So electronic circuits are kind of the opposite. They are iron plates and copper cables rather than copper plates and iron gears. So, well, let's start by putting a light in here so we can see what's going on. I'll put a light in there as well. That actually turned out to be a good spot for that. So what we're going to need to do is kind of the opposite of this, I suppose. So let's see if we can we do it a little bit further up? Can I match this up? That's kind of what I'm wondering. I want to see if I can make this match. So that would be 2 out from this side. So it'll be there. So that's what that's going to be. I want these to be the green circuits. Shift right click. No, hold on a minute. Reset to that. Shift right click and then do that. So there we go. Right. So that's going to work in an interesting way. We need to come up here a little bit. And let's see if this can work. So we're going to need some tunnels. And we're going to need some splitters. So let's get another one of those. We're actually going to need a few of those. So let me go get some iron plates. Because we're going to need them. We'll make another splitter or 2. And what we need to do is we need to bring some of these cables over like this. So they're going to come over to there. And this is going to run the whole way down to that point, which is fine. Then what we need to do is have... Oh, wait a minute. Oh. So I need both of the copper lines there to go underground. So, that's interesting. That's going to make things a little bit tricky. This splitter probably needs to be higher up, I think. So the splitter needs to be there instead. Not necessarily an ideal spot for it, but we'll make it work. That can go to there and there. Then this copper line and this copper line need to go underground. So that goes away for a little bit. Then we have this come in. Those go under. Like that and up like that. So those are now going to continue flowing. The iron line here is going to have a split. And then is going to turn like that. And that does what I wanted it to do. It also gives me room for another light if I want one. So that puts everything we need on this line for the green circuits. Which is beautiful. Then the green circuits are going to need to be fed around. And they're probably going to go onto their own conveyor sort of along here as well. So everything's going to get a little bit wider. But what we need to do is continue with these 4 central lines. Just like that. Now, this could be a little bit more efficient if I were to put multiple things on multiple lines, but we're not going to do that. Thus far, this is fine. Now, the green circuits, unlike the red science, are going to come down. So they're going to come down like this. And we're going to need more of the conveyors. So that's going to come down like this. All right. So let's add the green science to its own track alongside all of this. And I think that'll be good. Let's also go ahead and get the power into all of this, just like so. And that's all functioning. So there we go. That's going to start producing, hopefully, a relatively decent amount of green circuits. And I'm excited. So next... Next. There's going to be a lot of steps in this. Next, we need to produce, because I've completely forgotten, green science is inserters and transport belts. Now, transport belts are easy. They are iron plates and iron gear wheels. So they can probably be made over here, because that's going to be a really simple job. So let's get a bunch of these. Now, what do we need for that? We need iron plates, so we can get ourselves some iron plates. We'll also pick up a bunch of wheels whilst we're at it. Let's make more of those. And then let's throw a bit of a gap in there, just so I can get more stuff in there if I need to. And transport belts really aren't hard to make. So we should be okay here. It looks like iron production and copper plate production is totally fine for what I'm trying to do here. So thus far, I don't think we're gonna need to expand anything with regards to that. But if we come down here, we can throw a couple of those in there. And we're going to need more inserters whilst we're at it. So let's get a bunch of those made. And then we'll do that and that. We'll do... Oh, hold on a minute. They're going to need to be moved back a little bit. Just to make sure we do this right. So move this all back a little bit to about there. So that and that with that and that. I know I'm saying a lot of that and that, by the way. I do apologize. It's just, it's my thinking process. It's how I think. My commentary just devolves into nonsense. Like I said, I do apologize. Let's go ahead and set this up to that point. Realistically, I'm going to need a gap of 2, I think. I'm also going to need more splitters, which means I need more electronic circuits, which fortunately I can just grab a bunch of. So that'll be fine. Give me a bunch of electronic circuits. Give me a bunch of iron as well, and let's make some splitters. It would be nice if I could store a bunch of this copper that I have, but there's not really anywhere I can put that, so we're not going to worry too much about it. So that's going to go there, which is going to let me bring this into there. That's going to come along like this, and that's going to turn onto there. So there we go. That's everything we're going to need for the transport belts, which is beautiful, because it means that that's all now set up to make transport belts once it gets power. Oh man, this is coming along really nicely. I'm really happy with this. Let me just grab a bunch of iron plates from here. If I just stand here for a second, this is just going to give me so many iron plates. Just ridiculous amounts of them. So that's going to let me make a bunch of those. And we'll go ahead and bring transport belts down to there. And the transport belts, I'm tempted to add to their own line as well, because it'll be really useful to just go and grab a bunch of them. Like, this is going to get a little bit out of hand. Like, this is going to be a very, very long process of things. But if I can make it work, then that's probably okay. Unless I turn it around. Like, I could turn it and bring it back up. That's something I could do, because there is like a big space in here that I could do something with. So I might do that. After we get these transport belts being made, I might do that. So we are going to bring them around onto their own line in the middle of all of this. So they're going to come around like this. They're going to turn quite hard there. And all of this needs to come down like so. That needs to come in there. That needs to come down there. This needs to come to that point. This comes to there. We need more conveyor belts, because of course we do. Because we're going through so many of them. Let me get a bunch of this. Make more conveyors. And I want this all to line up down there. So that's where all of this needs to come to, including the new transport belt line. So that comes in, that goes that way, and that comes down to here. Oh my god, this is going to look interesting, especially if I do decide to turn it around and bring it back up, which I think I like the idea of doing. I like the idea that this is all going to turn and head back up there, because I think that's going to look amazing. So that all goes in. We are going to need power for all of this. So hook all that up. Get me some power lines. And hook it up to this. And that's going to be transport belt production. Because of course it is. Oh, hold on a minute. What have I done wrong? I haven't done anything wrong. What are you doing? Why are these not... Oh, it's too far away. It's too far away. Whoops. That's totally fine. That's completely my mistake. I don't know why I managed to make it that far away, but we'll not worry too much about it. I might have gotten slightly carried away with what I was doing there. So we'll tear all of this out, just like so, and shift it over just a little bit. So that needs to go there and there. Then these go there and there. This does fit still, right? Almost. It needs to be moved up one. So there... and there, and there, and there. Then the inserters go away. We put those back like so. We put these ones in the back just like so. We bring the conveyors down like so. We have that one turned to the right. Get rid of that, get rid of that. And now we power it up. And we should have... if I'm not mistaken... oh, hello. Oh, it's not doing anything because I had to replace these. That's fine. Transport belts. So control click, shift right click, and then click all of those. So those are all making transport belts, and it's doing it nice and quickly. We can come down here and extend this just a little bit to see the absolute glory that is this mess. So that's all going to turn around, and that's all going to start coming up this way, which is going to look ridiculous. but it's also gonna look amazing because that looks pretty cool to me. I honestly think that looks pretty cool. The red science line, I'm probably just gonna bring straight up here. And then tunnel under there and bring it straight out there. Because I think I'll just keep the science facilities where they are. Either way, ladies and gents, I'm actually going to leave it there for today. We've done some pretty interesting stuff here. Next time, we're going to continue with what we were doing. And hopefully, we can make something interesting out of it. I'm really liking what we have here. I think this is a good plan. So next time, we are... I mean, what did we need? What was it we needed? We were working towards... green science. So next time we need to figure out the automation of the inserters. And then it's green science, and then it's anything on from there. So we have a lot to do. Either way, that's going to be it for today. So thank you kind of for watching. This has been Factorio Part 4. It's been a while since the last episode, but I think we can all agree that this is a little bit better than what we had last time. So once again, thank you kind of for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!